Stock Eliminator, need all y'all to the lanes, please. Stock Eliminator, final call. Need everybody to the lanes, please. Right side, left side. Our first three pair rolling out now. Stock Eliminator, need you to the lanes, please. Come on, come on. All right. The bounty is out. Stock Eliminator on Connor Statler. $2 bill and a fresh box of chocolates that we'll have to get to you at the next race. Tower is off limits today, so we'll just have to keep track of who picks up and wins the bounty, if anybody does. Or can Connor Statler go 2 for 2? Well, as they say here in Texas, we're fixing to find out. Because we're always fixing to do something. Stockers, need all you to the lanes, please. Stock Eliminator, everybody to the lanes as we get ready to rock, roll, and rumble. Bryce Grenier, David Latino going to lead us off. Pretty good pair to draw to. 21-year-old Bryce on the left-hand side, second-generation racer. Dan, former division champ. Bryce at the wheel in Lupe Tortilla, bright red 99 Camaro. David Latino for Hollingsworth Latino and Mickey Thompson. Over here on the right-hand side, the O'Reilly lane. Dialed in 1059, Bryce on a 1056. Almost a heads-up run. Red line start, Grenier by 7 thousandths of a second too quick. Eliminates his shot for fame, glory, hooting, hollering, and happiness. David Latino picks up the win, goes 1054 on a 1059. 129 miles an hour, 1054 by Bryce at a $1.25 for him. So Latino picks up the first round win. Lowell Gerber comes in alongside young Mr. Hale, Will Hale that is, 24-year-old youngster who won it all when we started the season over in Belrose, Louisiana early in the year. Hale on an 1143 dial, Gerber on a 1068. Gerber's in on a 1068. They must have found something overnight. It's a couple of tenths quicker than what they qualified with. Lowell off and running. Here he comes. Will Hale out in front. In the big block, a 396 Chevelle out of Lucas Oil and Emmons Motorsports. Track down Hale at the top end. Double breakout. Hale goes 1142. Gerber goes 1067. Hale's under by 7,000. Lowell Gerber under by 10. A margin of victory of 3 thousandths of a second down at the other end of the racetrack. So they obviously found something overnight. Here's Wes Neely up in his Trans Am. Runner out of Mississippi. Dialed in 1160. Handicap racing at its finest here, folks. Kevin Hale on the right-hand side. Dialed in 1169. So again, virtual heads-up race. Here in round number 1 of eliminations. And out of the gate they go. Another great pair. Starting line reaction times. Difference between the two as they left the starting line, a scant 3 thousandths of a second. But Neely gets the win. He goes 1165 at 109. 1176 by Kevin Hale. Both drivers above their dial this time. And Neely able to get to the stripe and get the win by 17 thousandths of a second. Wayne Larson rolls in now alongside Bill Bagley. Bagley's best run in qualifying at 1091. Got her dialed up a couple of ticks to a 1093. Larson, best run a 1230 out of that 1977 Pontiac Le Mans. He's got it dialed up to a 1234. So everybody obviously taking note of the fact that the weather conditions not quite as good today as they were yesterday. See how they go. Green and gone for Wayne Larson on his 12:34 down. Bagley setting sail. Here comes 340 cubic inches of Opar. Trying to reel it in from behind. At the top end, Windlight's going to go to Bagley. 1096 on a 1093. 1243 on a 1234 by Larson. He had the better reaction time. Bagley able to track him down and take the stripe by 47 thousandths of a second for the W's. Danny Ruckers, 69 Camaro comes rolling in now. The H-Stock automatic, 350 combination out of Sano, Texas, taking on Don Davidson's 350 4-speed car. The F-Stick machine out of Gilmer. 1103 for Davidson, 1158 for Rucker. Out of the gate they go. Danny dead late leaving the line. Don with a little bit of wheel spin. Looks like he's able to catch up, pull up alongside. Yep, gets the win. 11:10, 109 miles an hour. 11:62 at a $1.13 by Rucker. Rucker just dead late out of the gate. That opened up the door for Don. Even with a little tire spin on the line, be able to pull up alongside and catch him down at the other end of the racetrack. How about this for a handicap start? Ben Kimberly out of Louisiana, 273, 67 Barracuda. Dialed in 1224. Paul Candies on a 984. Can you say pretty good romp and stop and head start? Yeah, that's what Ben Kimberly's going to get. Oh, and he turns it red. Flash of yellow, and he left. And Paul Candies, the Candies Family Motorsports operation. 2015 Dodge Drag Pack gets the win automatically. 987 at 136. Kimberly taking the fog hat. Slow ride. Take it easy. Lap down the racetrack. Ben's day is done. Paul gets to stay and play for a little bit longer. Dempsey Pendarvis, your number one qualifier, coming up next over on the left-hand side. Dempsey on 1151 dial out of the Mopar machine. Mike Bolrus, the G-Stock automatic entry. 1990 Corvette dialed in at an 1127. The Corvette's actually going to give a bit of a handicap start to our Drag Pack Challenger. 1151 the dial there. All right, I do understand that the time slip app did not show any right lane times on the first two or three pair. We have rebooted it. Your times are available on the NHRA live timing website. But we have rebooted the app, so we should be good to go now. As Dempsey Pendarvis comes rolling in. Again, the first two or three pair and stock eliminator here this morning. We had no times in the right side or in the O'Reilly lane. So if you're looking for your times, check out the NHRA live timing program and you can pick up your numbers there. Michael Bolrus, 1127. Dempsey Pendarvis on a 1215. Walrus gets the win, 11:29, 12:04 by Dempsey. Trying to do a little wheel racing down on the top end at only 107 miles an hour. But Walrus able to get by 11:29 at 116 miles an hour. We're seeing some drivers pulling out some interesting tactics here this morning. Let's put it that way. Either Dempsey or Walrus, either one had a starting line reaction time that started with a 0. So let that tell you something. Here's Hayden Trumbull. Hayden off and running. The D-Stock automatic entry. Tom Marlowe alongside him. A couple of young guns here in stock eliminator racing. Top end winner pickers has given to Trumbull 1065 on a 1064. How about a 16 thousandths package for Hayden at 121 miles an hour? 1031 by Marlowe, 126. Hayden was 003 and 13 thou over his dial for a 16 thousandths package away from perfect. That, boys and girls, will win you more than one round here in the sport of drag racing. As Austin Ford comes rolling in alongside Sammy Laporte. Sammy's Pontiac dialed in 1185. Austin's going to give him a couple of bulb handicap start on the tree with a 1083 dial for Mickey Thompson and Ford and Chevrolet and Samtech.edu. Here comes Austin. There goes Sammy. Ford trying to pull up alongside. Pontiac and Laporte, top end. Winner picker says Austin Ford. 1086 on a 1083 at 117. 1189, Sammy at 108 miles an hour. Comes up just a little bit short down there at the other end. A little bit being 35 thousandths of a second. It's Bill Bogus celebrating their anniversary this weekend here with us. 50 years of wedded bliss for Bill and Sharon. Charles Ford up on the right-hand side, the C-Stock automatic. Dialed in 1069. There goes Bill. Here comes Charles. Charles. Had to give Charles a wake-up call there. He was a little tardy out of the gate, and Bill Bogus says, "Thank you, sir." 12:05 at 106 miles an hour for the W. 1073 by Ford. Ran closer to his number than what Billy did, but Billy was ready when the tree came down, and Austin, I think, was doing product research for the My Pillow Company. Dale Hultquist, D-Stock automatic entry, 396 combination. I'm sorry, Charles, it was that bad. J.D. Braswell, Miss Lady Jane. Over on the left-hand side, the 350 69 Camaro. Out of the gate they go. Hultquist on 1110, Jane on 1116. Another pretty much pickup race out of the gate. Jane a little bit better on the tree. Jane knocks the better on the finish line. Margin of victory, 1/10 thousandths of a second for Hultquist. 11:14.2 on the 1110. 11:24 on the 11:16 by Jane. Margin of victory, 0.0001. That is 1/10 thousandth of a second. And I do want to let everybody know that the Time Slip app is now working and functioning correctly as Fred Henson and Jimmy Hidalgo come pulling in. The Country Dog, the Corvette, out of Louisiana over on the right-hand side. 350 combination in the 91 Vet. Dialed in 1119. Fred Henson's Ford for the Ford dealer and the Henson family of dealerships up in Madisonville. Jimmy off and running. Here comes Fred. That Mustang 302 supercharger up on top. Pulls up alongside top end. 943 on a 940 at 141. Gave it a run. 1119. Dead on 2 by the dog. 19 on the tree. A 21 thousandths package. 37 thousandths. The total difference between the two going down the racetrack. Can you say great googly moogly want to run? Try it sometime. It'll help you. Devon out of Victoria, Texas. Well, I don't know about getting it right every time, but at least I got it up off my lips. Brett Cunningham. Cummings pulls up. Whew. The Mosier Engineering Corvette. Good morning, everybody. Anybody got any coffee? There goes Devon. Here comes Brett. Victoria, Texas, Mission Garage, Pontiac out in front. The Mosier C5 closing. Got him. 1034. at 112, taking 5 thou stripe for the win. 11:37 by Devon. Gave it a pretty good run, but on his 11:31 dial, came up just a little bit short down there at the other end of the racetrack. Here's Shabs, Mike Shabarek out of Crowley. 77 Plymouth Volare. Taking on Dr. Phil, Felix Acosta. Over here on the right-hand side, the F Factory Stock B, Copo Camaro, the runner out of Belrose, Louisiana. Dr. Phil down in 935. Dr. Phil, your winner, because Shabs just went red by 13 thousandths of a second. He was thinking yesterday this stock eliminator racing's pretty fun. Yeah, well, till you go red. 956 on a 935 by Dr. Phil at 142. As he motors on, 1248 by Shabs after the red light start, and a few words like golly gee and son of a gun and shucky darn and god darn it were uttered going down the racetrack. There's Justin Hutto and Phil Giles. Giles right side. The Copo Camaro, 950 the dial. Justin Hutto's AA stock automatic, 427-69 Corvette for NGK and Mobile One. Off and running. Here comes Phil. Giles got the Copo hauling the mail. Coming in, closing in, top end charge. Going to get him at the stripe, 953 at 139 miles an hour. 10:15 by Justin. Got there first, takes 26 thousandths of a second. Stripe breaks out by 7 thousandths of a second.
Attention in the pits. Attention in the pits, please.
Super Street needs you to lanes now. Super Street, round number 1, boys and girls. Come on down. Super Street, round number 1. Need you to the lanes, please. This is Jimmy Hidalgo looking to see if he can keep pace with Pops. Saw the Country Dog take the win a little while ago. He's got to get around John Cox in the F stock automatic, 66 Mercury. Over there on the left-hand side. 1146 for Cox, his dial. He's off and running. Here comes the pup. Jimmy Hidalgo Jr. Cooter. Give it chase. That Pontiac GTO closing in. Top end. Not going to get there. Double breakout. 45.3 by Cox on a 46. He's under by 7. 1083 on a 1087 by Hidalgo. He's under by 38. Margin of victory, 31 thousandths of a second. John Cox comes back for round number 2. Cooter out here in the opening round of eliminations. As Bobby Brandon and Tim Ames come rolling in now. Bobby with the rescue pup, the 2015 Camaro C-Stock automatic entry. Not a Copo edition. This was a street-driven and delivered car. Met an early demise due to, I believe, some flooding. Bobby Brandon rescued it from the pound. Now giving chase to Tim Ames, 340 Mopar machine. As Tim's working his way through to a 1097 victory on a 1094 dial. 1049 by Bobby on his 1047 dial. He's over by 2. Ames is over by 3, but Ames had the better starting line reaction time. So you put all the little numbers, the big numbers together, and Tim able to squeeze that one out. Down at the other end by just a few thousandths. Brett Candice, Brenda Grubbs. Pretty good match here, folks. Brenda dialed in at a 988. Old school, 427, big block muscle car from 1969. Brett Candice, new school, Cobra Jet, factory stock B machine from 2010. Brenda off and running. Here comes Candice. Brett using that big motored Ford at the top end, goes right on by. 944 on a 943 for the win. 990 on a 988 by Brenda. Both of them over 130 miles an hour and 24 thousandths of a second difference between the two once they got to the finish line stripe. Todd Irwin taking on Mike McMahon. McMahon over here on the right-hand side. Port Charlotte, Florida, 1,100 miles away. And I know that because they came up trying to win the Houston Cheap Fireworks long-distance fireworks package. McMahon trying to take over Todd Irwin right now. The 71 Corvette gets the win on 1124 dead on the dial. How about a 10,000s package for Mike? 001 on the tree, dead on the dial with a 9 for the win. Irwin goes 1061, 1 on a 1062, and comes up short. All right, here's an opportunity for Slate Cummings. Pick up a $2 bill and a box of chocolates. All he's got to do is take out Connor Statler. What? Do need to let everybody know we need dial-ins on the right side. If you are a dial-in category racer, we need to see dial-ins on the right-hand side of the car. Connor Statler left side, 1040, coming off the win up in Tulsa. Taking on Slate Cummings, who has won, well, just about everywhere, including here. The Bayou Boys at the wheel of the C5 Mosier Engineering Corvette. Connor sits left side, waiting on Slate. Slate sits right side, waiting on Connor. We could be here for a while, folks. And the final Jeopardy question of the day is, who will stage first? Slate's right, Connor's left. Some mind games going on. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. I remember a similar situation here at Houston many years ago. A gentleman named Warren Johnson and a gentleman named Scott Joffron. Yes, indeed. I think they might be going for the record. Alrighty then, well, we'll try this one more time. Connor Statler on the left on a 1040, Slate on the right on a 1034. Those of you watching in on dragracer.tv, I don't know if anybody had a timer on it, but that was a pretty good meltdown there on the starting line. So Connor left, Slate right. The bounty on Connor Statler because he's coming off the win at Tulsa. $2 bill and a box of chocolates for Slate Cummings if he can take him out. If not, Connor comes back for round number 2 and we try again. simply amazing. Connor's in. Slate's in. Now we're going to race. Just a tick better out of the gate was Slate. Went light to Connor Statler. 1043 at 123. 1044 by Slate at 120. So Connor Statler keeping his hopes alive for a double. Goes to round number 2. Gary Emmons comes rolling in now, up alongside Everett Vassar. Vassar's machine, the LS-powered Chevrolet Camaro on the left-hand side. 1061 the dial for Everett. Emmons on an 895 for the Lucas Oil Products entry out of Emmons Motorsports and Emmons Autoplex. Right down the road down by Nessa. Gary tickles the bulbs. Both cars are in. Everett's off and running. Here comes Emmons. Mustang really picking him up, putting him down, top end down. He gets the win. 9 flat at 135, taking 16 thou stripe for the W. 1062 at 1, 2, 3 the speed for Everett Vassar there on the left-hand side. Everett just a little bit tardy leaving the starting line. Emmons able to drive around him down at the other end of the racetrack for the W's. Parker DeVore comes rolling in. Parker DeVore left side, 11-12. Sheila Holt, the chick with the stick out of Lupe Tortilla. 327 4-speed, hence the name, the chick. Sheila driving the 4-speed, the stick car. Over here on the right-hand side, Sheila's dialed in 1067. Parker on an 11-12. Lupe Tortilla Mexican restaurant on the side of the Chevy 2-door post for Sheila. And Parker DeVore coming out of Blanchard, Oklahoma, and Clampett Motorsports. 11-12 the dial for Parker. He's going to get to go first as soon as we get the official all clear from the top end of the racetrack. And we are ready to go again. And it looks like that's the case. Super Street, need you to lanes, please. Super Street, need you to the staging lanes, please. Handicap start to the Mopar. Another Volare 360 combination for Parker. Locked and loaded. Sheila's in. Pulls the RPMs up on that small block. Sidesteps the clutch and heads for the other end of the racetrack. Out of the gate, they are virtually dead even. Side by side on reaction times, but Parker's going to prevail at the top end. 1175 at 104. Sheila slows up to a 1080 at a $1.18 for speed and just could not get there at the other end of the racetrack. It's Bobby Marizio. Now out of Quinlan, Texas, former Division 7 competitor from the West Coast. Over here to take on Jeff Lopez. Welcome to D4 Racing, Bobby. All you get here in our opening round is a former world champion Super Gas. Jeffrey driving the Copo Camaro of Johnny Gonzalez out of Ace Door and Repair. Up Irving, Texas way. And Lopez on a 945. Bobby, a couple second handicap start, 1156 the dial. For his third gen Camaro over there on the left-hand side. Little 305 combination. There goes Bobby. Here comes Jeffrey. Oh, baby. You know, a 19,000th reaction time isn't bad, but when the guy in the lane next to you goes trip, zip, perfect, and throws down a 19,000th package, you better be dead on your dial with a 0 at the other end to make a race out of it. Unfortunately, Bobby wasn't. He goes 11:58 on 11:56. 9:46.9 by Lopez on a 9:45 dial, and triple zipple 000 on the reaction timers. Is Jerry Emmons taking on Dustin Vassar. Ooh, it's the Emmons versus the Vassars today. Gary just dispatched Everett. See what Jerry can do with Dustin. Vassar over here on the right-hand side this time. Another 350 Camaro. Taking on the big block, 396 Lucas Oil Products machine. Jerry Emmons at the wheel. Jamming Jerry left side. Dustin right. Red line, start Vassar. Wheels up, launch, Emmons. Reach for the sky. Emmons settles the front end back down. The wind light's already on. He goes 10:22 on a 10:24. Vassar was red by 14 thousandths of a second. Then runs a 10:98 at 120. Down at the other end of the racetrack is Brandon Bakey's in the samtech.edu. The School of Automotive Machinists. Hot rod comes pulling in, the factory stock C. Copo Camaro with a 427 underneath the hood, 975 the dial, taking on Donnie Howe. Donald out of Monroe, Louisiana, the F stock automatic, 350 69 Camaro over here on the right-hand side. Donnie on 1124 dial. Second and a half handicap start, going to Donald. Tree comes down. Oh, and another red light. 8 thousandths too quick out of the gate for Donald. He left the starting line just a tad early. And handed the win over to Brandon. Brandon takes the opportunity for a tune-up run, runs 971 at 137 miles an hour. So he moves on. Donnie's day is done. Connor Matthews comes rolling in, the H stock automatic Camaro. Taking on Kyle Ratcliffe's 98 Firebird. The LT1 powered stick shift C-stick car. 10:56 the dial, and a red light start by Connor. He's too quick out of the gate by 31 thousandths of a second. Ratcliffe was ready. He was 007. Didn't let that red light bother his concentration any. Then Kyle runs 1060 on a 1056 at 126. And he'll be back for round number 2. Was it really? Keith Bakey's and James Carter. As we continue on, Bakey's off and running, 10:21 the dial. Carter alongside of him, the Copo out of Forney, Texas, 9:46 the dial. Carter pulls up alongside, 9:57 for the win. Bakey's was dead late out of the gate in the Camaro. Runs 10:21, dead on the dial with the 6 at 129 miles an hour, but just cannot leave that much reaction time advantage back here on this end of the racetrack. Archie Cohn should be taking on Jacob Pitt. No Arch. So Jacob will make a competition by run. And again, racers, do want to remind you, if you are a dial-in or handicap category racer, we need to be able to see the dial on the right-hand side. Excuse me, Jacob Pitt should be taking on Kenny Doty. Doty's wagon not to be found. So a competition by run for Jacob. He'll move on to round number 2. And in doing so, he runs 1061 on his 1060 dial at 123 miles an hour. In fact, 12354 on the mile per hour chart down at the other end. Archie Cohn should be taking on Jerry Davis, the little 340. Orange Dodge Challenger out of Santa Fe, Texas. No Jerry. So Archie gets the competition by run. And off he goes, headed for the other end of the racetrack. .945 at 140 miles an hour. Ron Arch moves into round number 2. Darrell Irwin should be taking on Stephen Bell, but Bell's Copo Camaro not to be found for round number 1. So it'll be Darrell Irwin on a competition by run. As our final car gets ready to make his way down the Pennzoil side of the racetrack. Sound like Darrell's car lost fire there. Fortunately, there was nobody in the other lane next to him, so he gets to make his way down track. 11:26 at 116 miles an hour. Folks, we've made the announcement several times today that there is no parking in the short chute, and we cannot allow the golf cart congregation here on the return road. It's not going to happen today. Those of you parked in your golf carts here on the return road, we're going to have to ask you to pull out. If you want to spectate, you can do so from the grandstands. But with the situation we're dealing with here at the track today, we cannot allow the congregation of folks here on the return road and in the short chute. They are not spectator areas today. We're sorry. It's the way it is. We have to deal with it. You could come up when your car runs, when your car is done making a pass, you need to vacate the area. We cannot allow the congregation of people here today like we have. It's an unfortunate situation. It is the reality of the times that we are in, and I thank everybody for your cooperation. Please be mindful of it. Lots of room in the grandstands for social distancing if you want to watch. I realize the grandstand seat's not quite as comfortable as the cushion in the golf cart. Today you're going to have to make sacrifices. We are all making sacrifices today. So we cannot allow the congregation. Thank you, everybody, for listening and paying attention. Today is just not the day that we can allow it to be done. So thank you, one and all, for cleaning out, moving the area. You can come up with your car when your car is running, but when your car has made its lap, it's time to vacate the area and make way for the next crew to come through. Super Street, round number 1, getting ready to come up. James Presley and Thomas Marlowe, our first pair out as we change the category to Super Street. Put 1090 up on the scoreboard, and the drivers get ready to take aim. See how well they can do. In the index categories of Super Comp, Super Street, and Super Gas. Marlowe off and running, Presley off and running. A beautiful 57 Chevy Bel Air working its way down track. But it's Marlowe with the win. 1097 at 119, 1097.9. They were dead even out of the gate, identical 28 thousandths of a second. Reaction times, they were both 1097 at the other end of the racetrack. The difference, the small numbers, 6 thousandths of a second. Brian Gustafson up on the left-hand side, and Randy Ramo over in the right-hand lane. Randy at the wheel of his 69 Camaro out of Longview. Collision technician. 583 cubic inch big block. Gustafson, 505 cubic inch Mopar underneath the hood of that 70 Plymouth Duster. Finish line, Gustafson too quick, 1088. Randy Ramo too quick with a 1089, but Ramo's closer. He'll get the win and get invited back for round number 2. Bob Watson taking on Wendell Shelton now. Robert at the wheel, the 71 Vega, normally driven by Sister Donna. 434 cubic inch combination for Watson. Shelton dialed in. Shelton over here at the wheel of his 66 Chevy 2. Bob Watson, 1088 at 129, 1093 by Shelton. Wendell gets the win, a little Chevy 2 at 152 miles an hour. So Wendell gets to come back and play. Chris User's taking on Steve Funderburk. Funderburk out of New Iberia over in the Sportsman's Paradise state of Louisiana, and he doesn't get a head home yet. Users does. He's going to have lane choice on I-10 here in a couple hours. Louisiana runner goes red by 10 thousandths of a second going down the racetrack. Funderburk gets the win, 11:08 at 1, 2, 3 the speed. Don Snow gets the win on that pair at 142, 1088 by Michael Britt at 126. Milo Elkins and Michael Hancock working their way down track. Milo's your winner chicken dinner already, the Beach City, Texas runner. Lit the green bulb. Michael Hancock lit the red bulb, and that doesn't work so well. 1088 by Elkins at 138. Gets the win. 1094 by Hancock at 149.